Live in HD, the 7 a.m. News Hour with Clay Gordon and Kristen Hosfeld. It's 38 degrees. The 7 a.m. News Hour starts now.
Good morning, I'm Kristen Hosfeld.
And I'm Clay Gordon. Good morning. Here's what we have for you today.
A tense scene in Old Town last night where 2 people are dead following an incident in an apartment. We have the latest.
Plus, fire officials are ruling a garage fire in Bangor Tuesday arson, but they're not saying what caused the blaze.
And the government shutdown may be hitting closer to home than we first thought. The University of Maine breaks it down for us.
Now, all that and more local news is on the way, but first here's meteorologist Jim Dickey with the forecast.
Another nice one in store here for today. Your AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by Luigi and Fredericks, your florist for cut flowers, floral arrangements, and plants. They're located at 345 State Street, Bangor, in the Victorian House, across from their former location. Now, sort of a daunting satellite image here. There's an area of low pressure off to our south, the clouds streaming in. This mainly just some thin high clouds overhead, leading to a gorgeous sunrise, and tonight, a gorgeous sunset. The good news is this low not going to be able to move its way in here now as we track forward through the day and into Friday. Perhaps a shower or two working in, but nothing widespread, nothing heavy. The heaviest rain stays well to our south as high pressure overhead here. That continues to dominate. So mostly sunny skies. Keep it clear across the region through the day. Temperature-wise, most spots right on average for this time of year. 64 with sun, Eastport, Calais, Woodland, 61 in Machias. Mid to low 60s along the mid-coast, 65 in Belfast to be exact. Upper 60s, Skowhegan, Waterville, nice day. 66 with sun into Augusta. Keep it at 68 with sunshine in Dexter. A mostly sunny 66 into Lincoln. 67 with sun in Greenville. 69 under mainly sunny skies into Millinocket. 65 here in Bangor, again a mostly sunny day, keeping it dry. Temperatures slightly above average for this time of year. Your marine forecast, winds come out of the southwest. 5 to 10 knots, waves brought to 1 to 3 feet. No restrictions out of visibility. Skies, or visibility rather, clear to the horizon. Into the overnight, 42. Just a couple clouds in place, although those high clouds thicken. That low continues to slowly crawl its way northward up along the coast with that temps not falling off as much, only down to 42. And then on the day tomorrow, more of the same. A bit more in the way of cloud coverage. We'll hold in the upper 60s at 67. Perhaps a shower around. Stepping on through your exclusive AccuWeather 5-day forecast. Outside of that sprinkle on Friday, dry right on through the weekend, right on through early next week. Our next best chance of rain, Thursday of next week.
Thank you, Jim. Topping our news this hour, 2 people are dead following an incident inside an apartment on Main Street in Old Town last night.
Greta Bolster was on scene and brings us the latest this morning.
A chaotic and terrifying scene as police closed downtown streets, telling nearby residents to stay indoors. Right around 6 p.m., police received a call from a man inside a Main Street apartment claiming he had stabbed his girlfriend.
Maine State Police, VZ, Orono, and Old Town Police Departments were just a few of the agencies to arrive here on scene. And when they did, they found out that they had 2 children trapped inside of the apartment with the man ages 2 and 4. The man said he would not release those children nor let police come in to retrieve them. That's when police entered negotiations with the suspect.
Police were successful in negotiating the release of the 2 children, but he still refused to let the police in to check on the well-being of the female he claimed to have stabbed.
It was at that time authorities decided to take matters into their own hands, with a hopeful attempt to save the female victim's life.
The fire department brought down a ladder and put up to the back of the building, and then there was one of the policemen fired a shot up towards the back window and broke in through the window.
The trooper who took the shot was 15-year veteran Barry Meserve, now on administrative leave as the Attorney General's office investigates the shooting. Authorities say the 2 children are uninjured. The female victim's cause of death is under investigation. Family members telling bystanders that she was pregnant. In Old Town, this is Karina Bolster for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
It's expected that the Maine State Medical Examiner's Office will have a cause of death for both victims today.
The same lawyers who defended a triple murderer in Aroostook County not long ago will now defend another area man charged in a recent double killing. Court officials say a judge has appointed James Dunleavy and Sarah LeClaire to represent 32-year-old Matthew Davis. He's accused of killing 49-year-old Heidi Pratt and her boyfriend, 51-year-old Michael Kitchen. Police say Davis is also tied to 3 arson fires set on the same day as those killings. Now, Dunleavy and LeClaire defended 23-year-old Thane Ormsby, convicted in June of 2012. He's serving a life sentence for the stabbing deaths of 30-year-old Jason DeHaan, 55-year-old Jeffrey Ryan, and Ryan's 10-year-old son, Jesse.
A rash of Down East burglaries has police and the community on high alert. Officers say someone has been knocking on doors, asking random questions such as, "Have you seen my dog?" checking to see if residents are home.
Andrew Scheinthal explains.
Locking their doors and windows, residents in Ellsworth are on the lookout.
I don't go anywhere off duty or on duty where people don't ask me, how are you doing on the burglaries? Have you got anything yet? My neighbor got burglarized, my friend down the street.
Since August, there have been 20 burglaries in the area.
Sullivan, Orland, Otis. They've been several in the county.
Nearly half of those just in Ellsworth.
We've had 9 in Ellsworth.
I'm on just one of the roads that was hit by these burglaries, and authorities tell me they believe they're all connected. That's because every single one of them has happened in the middle of the day.
People go to work in the morning and come home and find that, they go to put their jewelry away and the jewelry box is missing.
Redbridge Road, Dollard Farm Way, Nicklin Road, and Hagen's Elbow are just some of the streets that have been affected. And the thief or thieves are after 2 things.
The entire jewelry box is missing and maybe nothing else in the house disturbed. A lot of guns, which is obviously a concern.
This is a collaborative effort with the state police and sheriff's office. While no arrests have been made, there are some suspects. That's because the community is speaking out. Detective Small says if residents keep reporting suspicious activity, authorities will get closer to catching those responsible. In Ellsworth, I'm Andrew Scheinthal for ABC7 and Fox 22.
And to report suspicious activity, call 669-6614 and ask for Detective Dottie Small.
A Tuesday Bangor fire was the work of arson. That's according to the State Fire Marshal's office, which has been investigating the blaze on Buck Street. Flames had already swept through much of the garage by the time crews arrived on the scene late Tuesday afternoon. Tim York from the Fire Marshal's office tells Fox 22 there was a human element involved, but won't say how the fire was actually set. Officials are now interviewing and reviewing video in the hope of finding the individual or individuals responsible.
One man is dead after a Wednesday morning fire in Bethel. Now, fire investigators say an electrical issue caused the fire at an Elm Street home. 39-year-old Joshua Peelock died of smoke inhalation. That's according to the state medical examiner's office. His girlfriend and 18-year-old son made it out with minor injuries.
As of yesterday, the drug commonly known as spice is illegal in the Pine Tree State. The Maine legislature recently passed a law banning the synthetic drugs which mimic marijuana. LD 661 is an act to prohibit the sale or possession of synthetic cannabinoids. While the city of Bangor already has an ordinance in place, law enforcement says the new state law is a good thing.
I think it's great that the state legislature has come up with this law to ban these types of drugs to be in the hands of citizens because they are proven to be dangerous. They have led to death. They're dangerous. You never know what's in that package, and thankfully now we have a state law we can work with that also bans these dangerous drugs.
Health officials say the drug can cause hallucinations, even psychotic episodes, and is often sold under labels identifying the substance as incense or jewelry cleaner.
A New Gloucester man is behind bars this morning, accused of chasing another man with a shotgun. Cumberland County Sheriff's deputies arrested 31-year-old Gregory Matthias Jr. Officials responded to a home at 50 Jenny Lane and quickly set up a perimeter. Other occupants were ordered to leave. He faces felony criminal threatening with a dangerous weapon and threatening charges. He's at the Cumberland County Jail on $5,000 cash bail and is expected in court tomorrow.
A man from Maine is accused of taking part in the stabbing death of a soldier in the Pacific Northwest. Specialist Tevin Geike died last weekend during a confrontation between 2 groups of soldiers in Washington state. Local police say Geike was walking with friends when they exchanged words with some soldiers in a passing car. They got out and Geike ended up stabbed in the chest. Specialist Joni Runyon-Bareford of Islesboro was one of the soldiers in the car. He's accused of driving the vehicle after the alleged murder and using bleach to clean up bloodstains.
Maine's female prison population has skyrocketed over the last decade. That's according to a corrections researcher at the University of Southern Maine. Erica King says the female prison population has jumped from just 25 back in 2002 to 146 today. The elevated numbers are prompting discussion about the best ways to rehabilitate female criminals. While there's no hard evidence as to why the numbers have risen so steeply, experts say changes in sentencing guidelines could be a factor.
Senator Susan Collins has put out a plan to end the government shutdown and raise the government's borrowing authority. The Maine Republicans' proposal would also repeal an unpopular medical device tax that would be used to subsidize health insurance. GOP Senator John McCain of Arizona called Collins' initiative, quote, a pretty good proposal that some of us like. Today is day 10 of the shutdown that started when Congress missed a deadline for funding the government in the fiscal year that began October 1st.
And still to come here this morning, Governor Paul LePage declared a so-called civil emergency Wednesday. A look at the effects from the shutdown here in Maine next.
But first, let's take another look at our forecast. Mostly sunny today, high in the upper 60s. New reports are saying Friday will be clear and sunny despite recent stray showers in the forecast. We'll be back.